things quickly escalated and he tried taking me straight to bed, and I was like, no, this ain't happening. And then he quickly turned cold afterwards, after that first date. And I think it's important to think about these settings for your dates, where first of all, you don't want to have it in your house, because again, that can escalate very quickly to the bedroom. And I also think, keep your space separate for a while, get to know him, and don't you maybe you also tend to feel too cozy at home, so then you get too comfortable with them. You just want to take it easy. And over here, I don't know what it's like in France, or I know that different places in the world have different first date
Rules
standards,
and yeah.
like, yeah, and places to go. Over here, it's usually going to like a pub for a drink, and which is all fine and good if you're going to a relaxed place and not drinking too much. But like, let's say for my first date with Zev, I spoke about this before. He took me to the local park. Yes, he brought, I think it was like Summersby, so it was like apple cider. There's nothing too harmful. It was very quiet. It was calm. We can actually have a conversation without all the loud noise around us. And then, the next time I see him, it's not like, oh my God, looked so completely different when I was drunk, you know? So it's a matter of like just finding the right setting for you. I'm also we're actually both not that kind of people that love going out to parties and loud things and just all the too much hard effort to just for a date. I think it's just I came with like jeans and a Levi's sweatshirt, and I was like, I'm just bringing myself, and we just like sat calmly. You have to find something that's right for you, that like reflects who you are as a person, so they also don't get the wrong impression of you. Oh, this is a person that loves going out to clubs, or this is a person that loves going out to 5 Michelin restaurant stars, whatever. Wow, I just screwed that up, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I, also don't recommend having somebody over for at your place for a first date, but mistakes and things. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing of kissing on the first date and sleeping with somebody on the first date and everything, I don't, to each their own. If you wanna put out on the first date and do things on the first date, then it's fine. But please make sure that it's coming from you and not coming from loneliness and not coming from pressure on the other side. And I'm not talking about about forced pressure of things like that. I'm talking about that feeling that a lot of people get of, if I don't sleep with this person, or if I don't kiss this person, they're going to lose interest.
Then they should lose it. Then they're not meant for you anyway.
And I completely agree with that. And it's you want to, and I've done that many times, of
Haven't we
sleeping
all?
with somebody, and it's just and I don't regret it at all, because if you
You
want
learn
to
from it.
I learned from it. And yes, you want to honor your body and like respect your body and things like that, and not give yourself away too easily. But it's also it's not
Sometimes you just want to give in to your urges,
exactly,
and that's
you
it. You
want
don't
to
want to think too
let's not
much and whatever.
exactly,
Yeah,
you don't
I mean,
want
we're
to
human.
demonize everything. Exactly, you're human and we make mistakes, and so you want to be careful, but you're not too careful. And all this to say that if you're going to be giving into these urges, you want to make sure that you're doing it for you, and you're not hoping or expecting anything from it. And this goes for guys and girls, because a lot of
Mhm.
women will sleep on the first date and kind of say, oh yeah, but I'm a free spirit, and this is how I am, and actually it's not how they are. But a lot of men will also kind of like kiss on the first date because they feel that the woman is expecting it, and that's their move to make. And I talk to these men and say, but give yourself a chance, like take it off, they asked me, should I kiss her at the end of the first date if it goes well? I was like, well, what do you mean if it goes well? And they go in this whole thing. It's like, well, I'm going to tell you, you just don't kiss her on the first date. You just take that stupid question out of your head. You just decide right now
Mhm.
you're not going to kiss her. She's definitely not going to kiss you, because it's just not how most women will behave. And you take that pressure off, and you just get to know her. Don't ask yourself, am I going to kiss her? Ask yourself, do I like her, and how can I seduce her? that is the only thing you need to be worrying about. And so you're right, you don't want to be going at his place or at your place or at their place or whatever, because I mean, me personally, if I had somebody over at my place, I'd be so worried about, is this tidied up? You know, is this
Hmm.
clean? Is that put away? Or is anything lying around? And I'd just be so aware of my, surrounding.
Yeah. It's also very personal, you're letting someone into your space and letting them see your pictures, your decorations, your all the things. Like, a lot of times our apartments are a reflection of us, or our rooms, or whatever it is.
Mm,
There's small pieces of you woven into the different things. So like, and on the one hand, I'm not a huge believer on sticking to rules on the first day of, don't talk about this and don't talk about that and avoid this, avoid that, and whatever it is. I think if it comes up, it comes up, and I think you should just let yourself be natural and just talk about whatever feels right in the moment. But that being said, I think you do need to be cautious to not throw everything all at once at a person, because that can just end up chasing them away. And you want to ease someone into getting to know you. Like, there's certain things that I think that you need to get out right away, so you don't waste each other's time and just talk about it, boom, boom, pow, on the first date. But there's certain things, like like issues that you have, or I don't know, like a trauma, or like a
mm.
job thing, or whatever. Like, these personal issues that you feel like you need to talk about, but not right away, because you don't want to. I hate to say this, you don't want to scare them away. And when you just meet someone, it's way too much, way too soon, and they can't handle it. Whereas if you give them time to get to know you better and to understand for themselves who you are, when you do open up about these certain things, then they know you better, and they know how to receive the information, they know how to respond better, and they're less worried about it because they know you already, and they know all the good things about you. And there's it's just, it works out better that way.
I would build on that by saying that, so yes, it's, talks about what feels natural. Um, things like I'm divorced with 3 kids need to come up in the conversation fairly
Hmm.
quickly. But what I would just
Or I
add
don't
to
want
the,
kids.
or I don't want kids, exactly, that I'm sure
Hmm.
that I don't want kids needs to come up very, very quickly. Um, but things about, work and personal things, I think are okay to talk about, might even be good to talk about. It's just the delivery that needs to be, like, you
Hmm.
need to be careful about the delivery, because there's a difference between, oh yeah, it was a tough week at work this week, and I won't go into too much detail, but basically this is going on, and it's just, it's frustrating and it's on my mind, but I'm here with you and I want to have a good time tonight, and we can talk about work stuff another time. And you want to let the person see that you're a real person and you've got flaws and weaknesses. That's a different delivery to, oh my god, this happened and this happened and this is going on and this is going on and blah 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 and this and
Yeah.
that, this and that and this and that. You know, saying that if if you've got somebody who's ill or recently deceased in your family and it's still on your mind, a way that you want to deliver that is, well, it's a tough week at home these days, but I'm happy to be here. But it's just, there's
Yeah.
stuff going on at home, and you know, this is going on, but I just want to, have a good time with you and think about something else. That is different to, oh my god, my grandfather's ill and this is happening and blah blah blah, and I'm so worried about him, and start crying and things like that. You just want to, you know,
Yeah.
let the person in, but there are so many other nice things to talk about. Another example is, I had a client who was 28 and had never been in a relationship, and he was like, what do I say if they ask me, and how should I bring it up, and what? It's like, you don't need to talk about it. Like, if they ask you about your emotional history, you can say, there's so much more interesting things to talk about than my emotional history. We'll get there, but please, let's talk about this and
Hmm.
this and this. And you want to, if you basically, he wasn't comfortable talking about it, so just don't talk about it. Think of something else.
Yeah.
And there are
And if they
so many
can't
things.
accept that, then that's their problem. And it's sort of, you shouldn't be with someone who can't accept the fact that you're not
Yeah,
ready to talk about a specific issue or something.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, that one guy once texted me and said, what do I do? You know, she didn't want to talk to me because she found out I was, you know, Capricorn and she was Libra, and like we don't match. And like, what do I say to the in these situations? And I was like, well, what do you mean, what do you say? And he's like, well, you know, how can I avoid this type of thing? And I was like, do you, you know, think about this. Do you want to be with somebody who gives a lot of importance to this type of thing? You know, no judgment, you know, to each their own. But is that
Mhm.
something you're interested in? And he's like, well, no. It's like, well, then
There you
good
have it.
riddance, you know, good riddance. And it's, but I appreciate that it's so hard to have this type of thought process.
Hmm.
It's, yeah, it's just, you know, it's very hard to, when you're feeling